welcome the amazing Fatima Mann. Obviously, you never sleep. One of the platforms you stand on is self-care.
Yeah.
How do you balance that in your life with all these amazing projects?
I smoke weed sometimes. No, I don't really can say that out loud in public. But so honestly, I meditate in the morning. So I meditate and I make sure I walk. I try to get some time walking. People think that I don't eat because I'm skinny, but I eat. I just walk all the time. So I have a car. So I do a lot of, and I'm a yoga instructor. So I became a yoga instructor last year, and so I use that to aid in like taking care of myself. So whenever humans get on my nerves, and I have to remember that humans will be humans, I just do the little ahimsa thing, the love and kindness, and that just helps me move through it.
Nice. Yeah, just corresponding with you in email, you have like the loveliest sign-offs because you're like, you know, I hope this email finds you peace, and you're like, remember to drink water. I'm like, most emails make me want to slam my head against the computer, like, Happy Friday, no. I was like at home when I read it with my family, and like I was like tuning my mom out and just like relaxed. I was like, oh, you know. So please continue to sign off emails that way. What inspired you to start community advocacy and healing projects?
I recognize that a lot of people do advocacy work, right? So we go out, we understand that the 45th is doing 45th horrendous things, and we advocate, but we don't talk about the importance of having healing within systems. So we talk about the problems with systems, but we don't recognize that there's humans working within the systems that are causing the problems, that are very traumatized and traumatizing of people who are impacted by the systems. So it came to me like it was one of those moments where you're just like, hey, either you're gonna keep doing what's already been done or try something different. And I think that it needs a little feminine touch, and the feminine touch is healing. And a lot of times we don't talk about healing in the work that we do to try to change the world. But imagine if people were healed trying to change the world, not just trying to change the world, you know? So
yeah,
bridging the two, you know, having a baby of like love and kindness, but calling it something else.
No, that's true. Activism can burn you out, and I've seen it happen to a lot of my friends, and it's like, please heal us. Please heal us.
I'm working on it. Drink water, you know? Doing starting.
I've got 100 waters. Oh, you can also have one of these. Because you're always like, drink water, and I'm like, I do! I'm always thinking of you now.
So like, water and Fatima, I'm just, that's all I'm trying to do.
I
like water.
What are the biggest challenges of running an organization like your latest, or the ones you've run in the past, also Justice Coalition and Counterbalance?
Being a black woman. Done.
There you go.
Like, I mean, honestly, being in a society that labels you something that is oppressive and treats you in that manner, being a black woman is very difficult. It's a very difficult space to hold. A lot of times, even in conversations with women of the majorities of color, it's a different conversation being the descendants of slaves. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing to understand that my foremothers were never belonged to themselves. After slavery, they belonged to their husbands and their fathers, and then after that, it's the system and the system, right? So being a black woman is very difficult. It's a conversation that people really don't get to hear. They don't really get to understand, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of opportunities for black women to unapologetically be black women. We're always trying to fit in, or not say the this thing, or not be the only black woman, or not be seen as a video vixen, or all the things, right? And so I just show up for my true self every time, you know?
What is the favorite part of what you do, or do you have like a favorite memory from your work over the years?
So the best part to me is getting the hugs from the moms that have lost their children to some sort of violence, and having that gratitude of someone else just caring about their child in a way that has nothing to do with me. I legitimately think that if we started seeing each other in each other's eyes, the world would change. And being able to understand that I'm connecting with people only because I do for them what I would want someone to do for me if I was in the same or similar situation, you know? So the hugs, I love the hugs. I give hugs, but hugging and someone just saying thank you, that makes it like not sleeping and all that stuff worth it. Like every time, just knowing that what I'm doing is helping someone else, that but for me helping them, no one else would have helped them. That's a heavy load to carry, but it's also an honor.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I want to touch on, speaking of working with children, you helped organize the Melanated Book Drive, which I think is incredible. I've never heard of something like that. It's amazing. So essentially you were bringing books with black and brown characters to children who are black and brown so that they can see themselves in the books. And I was wondering what inspired you to start that?
So, my old lady is my grandmother. I call her old lady to her face. She loves it. She's my old lady. She's 80 years old. She's been old my whole life. I'm 31. And so she always used to say that if white people wanted to hide it from you, they put it in a book. And that's so true, especially for people, because people understand that slaves weren't allowed to read. Why? Because if you have access to information, you have access to understanding that what's happening to you should not be happening to you. Or that you can be more than what is happening to you, right? And so I just recently graduated law school, and I understand that my grandmother, she always made me look things up, and she always made me read, and I always had books with people who looked like me. So I understood that there was a history that I may not be receiving somewhere else, but doesn't mean it's not true. And so I also have a problem with nonprofits and organizations being founded and helping a community, but they're not in the community that needs help. So for me, going into the heart of the hood is important because I'm a hood girl who just got out. Like on paper, like I wasn't supposed to make it. So you look at, like, you talk about the statistics and all the things, I'm her. Like, I'm legitimately the kid who's been sexually abused, single parent home, first generation college grad on both sides. I'm the only attorney on both sides. I went through, all the things, right? And so I knew that it was the books that allowed me to understand that there was more than my experience. And so if I could aid people, like kids, see themselves in ways that I wasn't able to see myself as a kid, and be able to see where they come from, or that there's more to it than being a basketball player or a rapper, right? Like you can be an astronaut, a scientist, a yoga instructor, a barber, like any photographer, a videographer. You can run your own show and give people real shit, right? There's people seeing you like for the very first time. There's little humans that look like you that see themselves in you, and they're like, oh, I can now do this because Meghan did it, right? I wanted, it was important that kids had the same thing. Like I didn't get to see versions of myself coming up. I'm out here barefoot with a law degree and tattoos, and I haven't seen anything like you yet.
Yeah. No, I feel you. My goal is to build an army of young Syrian girls to just fucking overthrow the entertainment industry. Start from scratch.
I'm a black girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to take over the whole legal game. The whole, I want little black lawyers and little black girl judges and little I want all the people who said that they can't do it, society has oppressed to the point of believing that they can't be what we can be, to be all the things.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I also like to speak about you helping pass the Sandra Bland Act here in Texas, and also the hashtag Sandy Still Speaks movement, which is ongoing.
So so I started law school legitimately like a month after Sandra Bland died, and 3 years ago in 2015. She died July 13th. I was in a camp learning how to be a lawyer, and I had never looked at anybody who died from police brutality. It didn't move me. It's traumatizing. I'm like, I'm not doing it. But something led me to research this woman. And the funny thing is we're actually 8 days apart. I'm 8 days older. Her mother's name is Geneva. My middle name is Geneva. She drove from Chicago to Texas, and I had drove to Texas to Connecticut in May. She drove down in July. It was like I was legitimately looking at myself, and I'm like, okay, this could happen to me. And then I got off a plane, ended up going to Prairie View, didn't know anybody in Prairie View, and ended up watching the story unravel on the ground, and then seeing how it unraveled nationally, and it wasn't the same story. And so I actually started organizing around the Sandra Bland Act before the Sandra Bland Act became an act, because I was organizing around Sandra Bland. The march that we had in Austin, the biggest march we had around Sandra Bland, that was a march that me and other 3 black women planned in 4 days. I went to law school after that, and then I was just like, okay, what else can I do? Because it doesn't make sense for this to continuously happen and nothing happened to law enforcement, or nothing can come from it. And so I went to law school barefoot, and my chancellor, he was always trying to get me to put on shoes. So I had to have we had to have some real life come to Jesus moments about me putting on shoes. And so he sent me back. I went to law school in Louisiana. He sent me back here for a legislative session. So I did an internship at the Texas Criminal Justice Coalition, and I got to learn how criminal justice bills were passed. And that's I don't know if you watch House of Cards, it's real. Scandal is real, and if you have lawyer and money, you can get away with anything. I'm just saying. And being a legislative taught me that. but it also taught me that you could talk to humans to get some things done. And the Sandra Bland Act, it was a 55-page, act that had a lot of awesome things in it, but that didn't pass. But what did pass was a foundation for litigation, and I think that a lot of times people don't think about how we can litigate based off policies passed. So if I say that, if I know that you're gonna be dumb and you're gonna, in your dumbness, hurt someone's feelings, I'm gonna write a policy predicting you're gonna be dumb, so that when you're dumb, I can now sue you and then get damages from you being dumb, right? So I'm no longer looking just to change. I don't think that changing laws just to change laws because it feels good is important. It's to me like money speaks in this country. Unfortunately, I hate money, but it speaks. So having litigation that allows people to sue and then get money on the back end is what the Sandra Bland Act does. It makes sure that you have the right to consent. So police officers they're not supposed to search you anymore without having written consent. They now have to do de-escalation training. Why is de-escalation training important? It creates a new standard. So now that if someone is, roughed up by police officers, now the standard isn't what used to be in their training. Now it's something completely different, which is really important once again for litigation. I'm a lawyer now, so I always want to sue people. For real, and the people that I want to sue is I want to sue everybody who systemically oppresses other people. So that's who I plan on suing.
So how can audience members get involved with Community Advocacy and Healing Project, and what do you want to see as the future for the organization?
So I'll answer the last question first. The future that I hope is that we have more opportunities to create experiences where people can heal and grow and meet together, but then learn how to advocate together. Also understanding that it takes people to change things. It also takes people to help other people, help, right? I can't go to a dog and ask the dog to help me save other people. That just doesn't happen. I want to, but I'm not there yet, right? I can't talk to the dog and make the dog pass policy. It takes other people to help.
You should talk to my dog now.
Yeah, sometimes. I'm there. I talk to dogs, but I can't make them do the things that I need them to do to make the things happen. But I do understand when they need to go out, when they need water, stuff like that. But being able to say, you can follow us on social media, Community Advocacy and Healing Project. On Tuesday, there's a rally at the Capitol. Beto will actually be there. And then after there's a policy roundup. So we're trying to get more people informed about policy that you can advocate for during the session. Advocating means talking to your elected official about what they should be passing law on. And what I really hope to see is people literally see each other in each other's eyes. If you can't see that you're talking to a human, no matter what that human is doing, then you're missing the connection. The connection is being that humans, we're not connected like oak trees. Oak tree roots, they're connected at the bottom. All the oak tree roots are connected. They hold on to each other. So when a storm happens, no matter what happens in that storm, this tree is connected to this tree that's connected to this tree. What if humans held on to each other that way? What if we supported each other and no matter what storm happened, we were able to understand that if I didn't hold on to you, no one else would. You just blow on the wind, right? So I'm hoping that people would find a little hippiness in it, and just understand I'm really just trying to change things with love and light, but the law is the way to go these days. So you can do a little policy, you can do a little, fundraising, we can do conferences, we do the gamut of things. So whatever rocks your boat or tickles your pickle, we got some.
Thank you so much for joining us. Strong Female Leader with something from Dollar Tree, not a sponsor. And you were fun to shop for because I just got 3 different things that you can drink out of, water or whatever. So this is definitely like a New Orleans cup. This, you could put snacks at the bottom.
I like that.
I was checking for myself.
I like that.
And then this guy, and bubbles, because why the fuck not? That
right?
way, Marine Race Kid looks so happy. So, thank you so much. Sorry.